If you want to take the next step on investing and you want to just give it a try, with only 1,000 pesos to spare, you can actually start investing in different types of funds that invest in global equities, and you can also invest on tech trends and global consumer trends that have been returning really well in 2020. If you're interested in learning more, let's talk about that today. Hi everyone, I'm PPE and this is the Peso Pro episodes where we talk about money management tips and peso tricks. If you haven't done so yet, please hit the subscribe button below. Unlike maybe, say, 10 years ago, investing is now easier than ever. You have the power of your smartphone and an internet connection, and technically you can access almost anything in the world. Now with the power of technology and interconnectivity, we now have opportunities to actually invest not just in Philippine equities or bonds, but also in global opportunities, and this platform that we're going to talk about today enables us to do just that. Today, we're going to talk about Seedbox, which is the first fully digital marketplace for investments and financial products in the Philippines. It is a joint venture of the Atram Group, one of the top asset managers in the country, Indivara Group, which is a leading IT company in Indonesia, and Rampver, which is the biggest independent mutual fund distributor in the Philippines. Seedbox aims to be a fully digital platform, which means that from account opening to payments to selecting the investment opportunities, you can always do all of these online. I personally opened an account within minutes and was instructed to provide several documents as part of their Know Your Customer or KYC process. They also require a very short call over, say, WhatsApp for you to talk to one of the representatives and actually prove that you have opened the account, and you would need to have your video on for that short call. Once you've done setting up, you're actually able to access Atram's multiple different funds, and you can go to their website, Seedbox.ph, and try to look around at the website. What you have in the product section are actually all of the products that you can choose from. Seedbox doesn't allow you to invest in individual stocks. It allows you to invest in different managed funds, which we talked about in the last stream that we had, and I'll link that in the description box below. But when we're talking about managed funds, we're really talking about a pool of money that is being managed by a fund manager. These funds can invest in different things, whether it's an index of a stock market like the Philippine Stock Exchange, or a set of different money market instruments or bonds, or it can also invest in different kinds of equities all over the world based on a certain criteria that the fund manager chooses. Once you've created an account in Seedbox, you can actually go to their product section and go through the different kinds of investments that they have. They actually package this in two ways. One is by Seedbox package, which you can choose based on your risk profile. You can click on moderate, aggressive, or conservative, or moderately conservative, or moderately aggressive investor types, and all of these will give you a different set of funds that you can choose from. What I personally like is going through the Atram tab, which then gives us the full list of the individual managed funds under Atram. Here, you will be able to see that there are about 11 funds in offer right now, and you can choose between any of these, and the process is very simple to follow. You can actually select one tile that represents the fund of your interest. Let's take, for example, going to the Global Technology Feeder Fund UITF, which it earned 37% over the past year. Once you would click on the tile, you would see product information as to what these are, and you would also see the condition. The minimum subscription is only 1,000 pesos, and your minimum top-up is also another 1,000. So this is very good because the point of entry is very low. You can actually start investing with just about 1,000 pesos. There's a transaction cut-off time, which is 1 p.m. for the specific fund, and the settlement period is 5 days. This means that when you buy the fund, it will probably take about 5 days for you to actually see the units reflected in your investment portfolio. Generally, all of the Atram funds are zero transaction fees and subscription fees. If you want to learn more about the specific fund, you can click on the allocation tab, and it will lead you to two different documents. The prospectus is the more technical document which would have all of the terms and conditions, but the fund fact sheets can be helpful if you want to learn about the fund itself. Click on download and it will actually give you a PDF version of the Global Technology Feeder Fund. You can do the same for other funds as well. What this does is it will show you a specific set of information like the investment objective, what's the risk return spectrum, and what are some of the fund facts. The fund size, in this case for example, as of its inception date was only a little over 700 million. What you would also see is the performance change over the years. This fund was started only in April 2018, so you would see all the way from the starting point to where it is now. You would also see cumulative performance of the month to date, the year to date, and the past 1 year. You would also see the average since inception. If you scroll a bit further down, you would also see the different kinds of items or securities that this fund invests in. In this case, there's about 97.4% in equities or stocks, and the remaining 2.6% is kept in cash. Out of the 97%, all of these countries participate in the total fund, with about 2/3 of it being in the US. You would also be able to see the top 10 holdings of the fund. In this case, you would see tech companies, not to your surprise because this is a tech feeder fund, but you would see the biggest tech companies in the list of the top 10 holdings, with Samsung, Apple, Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google, KLA, Microsoft, and the rest holding the top 10 holdings. If you move further down, it will also share with you a 3-year monthly performance by percentage, and it will also share with you a few more details of who manages the fund, what are the target fund details, etc. etc. Once you've seen the fund fact sheet, that should be able to help guide you if you really want to invest in a certain product. This is particularly helpful because when you're dealing with funds, you don't have full control as to where the fund actually invests. You're gonna follow at least roughly what the trend or the theme of the fund is. In this case, it is a global technology feeder fund, so at least you know that it is technology in general and it's also scattered across the globe, although 2/3 of it is in the US. Once you've reviewed the total product info, allocation, and performance of the fund, the performance tab will only show once you have an account with Seedbox. The performance will share with you different points of the performance of the overall fund. You can watch up to as much as 5 years, although this fund has only been there since 2018, so it will have that limit. If you're okay with the returns and if you understand where this is invested, I'd be remiss to say that you should be reminded that any past performance is not indicative of future results. However, what you're really investing in is the potential of technology to further grow as you continue to invest in the fund. Once you're okay, you click on I have read and understood the package detail information and click on buy. It will ask you again for a confirmation that you do understand what you're getting yourself into. If you do, then click yes. And it will add a transaction to cart. What I personally like about Seedbox is that you're actually almost like buying something in Lazada. What you would do is then click on OK and proceed to your shopping cart. What you have here is the Global Technology Feeder Fund, and you would be able to access the prospectus again should you need to review it. But you can then put the total transaction amount that you want to transact for this. What you can do is maybe set 1,000, which is the minimum amount, and just click on I have read and understood about the product's prospectus of the package and check out. Once you are in the checkout tab, you will see that you're buying the Global Tech Feeder Fund, and you will just be able to select from the 3 banks, so Metro, BDO, or BPI. Just click on the options and whatever you choose, be it mobile or online banking, follow the prompt and essentially you'll be paying for the transaction that you have. Allow for some time for the system to reflect your payment and essentially you're done. Now you have access to Atram's managed funds and you'll be able to do so in just a few clicks on the website or in your phone. You can pay for it using your existing banks, and that would give you access to not just the Philippine equities and bonds, but also from across the world. These are a great way to start your investment journey because the barrier for entry is very low at only 1,000 pesos. You can also use the managed funds in doing peso cost averaging and investing for the long term, which we talk about in steps 5 and 6 in the 8 pro steps towards financial independence. If you want to invest in mutual funds, including the ones that are not only based in the Philippines, this is a great way to start. I hope this was of value. If you want to learn more about different platforms, different tools, and a few tips and tricks, please hit the subscribe button so that you can see next videos. Also hit the notification bell so that you're notified once the new videos are up. Thank you once again for supporting the channel, and I hope to see you on the next one.